Yeah, this is more the part one about Maidstone prison and the people who was in it, yeah? Frazer, David Frazer, Patrick Frazer. Do you know what, mate? I've been away with David before. I've been away with Patrick before. They're brilliant people, mate. They're good people. You can have a right laugh with them. Always joking about, especially Patrick. Patrick was not wrapped around my mate Togi Lallo a long time ago, but this is about Maidstone prison. And Patrick and David, right? They used to shout out to Peter Colson. Peter Colson was on the fours, I think, on the threes. Sorry, the threes. And they used to shout out to Peter, "Tell us about Lady Margaret," because he'd done a bank with Merkel, didn't he? Peter Colson's supposed to take all the photographs from someone on my comments. Said something about Peter Colson. And did he talk about Lady Margaret? He said he had the pictures out of the vault of Lady Margaret. I said no, he didn't. But he used to shout. He used to talk about it a lot. It's quiet, yeah. It was quiet about it. But Patrick and David used to get him at it. Tell us about Lady Margaret and Johnny Bindon and all that game. You know what I mean? And it says poor old Peter Colson. But yeah, Peter Colson got a lot of photographs. From the Bank of America with Lady Margaret and Julie Hodge. I think it was Julie Hodge or Julie Edge. Julie Hodge, I think, on the island over there. And with all the black guys and bits and pieces and Bindon, yeah. I know Johnny Bindon was involved with Lady Margaret because Lady Margaret bought him a Muse flat somewhere. And he told me about it. Johnny Bindon told us about that when I was with the old man talking with my Danny Johnson's old man, Mickey Johnson. He's dead now, God rest his soul. Rest in peace, Joe Mickey Johnson. Yeah, and they used to tell us about Lady Margaret and all the things, bits and pieces, but listen, we push it aside. Don't want to get involved in that too much, you know what I mean? But Peter Colson did say that, yes, he did have pictures. Yes, he did have photographs, and yes, he did this, and yes, he did that, and special branches on his case, and all this sorts of bits and pieces. But obviously, he didn't want to talk about it too much. But it happened, yeah. It happened. He did find photographs of Lady Margaret. He did find photographs of Johnny Bindon. He did find photographs of Julie Hodge or Julie Edge. He did do this. He did do that. There was a lot of coloured guys, black guys involved on the island, and that was it, yeah. But David and Patrick used to get Peter Colson at it really, really bad. That was terrible. But David and Patrick, one day the whole of world, yeah, the whole of the world smelt of cat's piss. Just smelt of cat's piss. You know that horrible, really, really terrible smell of cat piss. What they'd done, they'd got some speeding on the visit, yeah, some sulphate on the visit, give it around to loads of people. And the smell, mate, the smell of it was like cat's piss. It was all over the wing. The screws were going mad trying to find it. You could hear bang, bang, all the doors slamming. You could have people's cells being tipped upside down, trying to find bits and pieces. They're never going to find it. You got people like David and Patrick who've done plenty of birds. They know the score. They know where to hide things. They're never going to find that, you know, never in a million years. But David and Patrick, proper nice people, mate. I met Patrick down in Paddington. Was it Angelo's? There was a club called Angelo's. I went down there one day on a Saturday, I think, or Friday night. Packed. Bobby Dixie was there. Patrick was there. I think David was there. Loads of people there enjoying this. Got big, just cocaine. Everybody had a good time. All of a sudden, the door crashed in. It was the old bird from across the road, Paddington Police Station, coming to spin the gaff, yeah? Search me, search Patrick, search a few people, just let us go. You just walk out, wait for other people to come out. Bobby Dixie was there too. That was a long time ago, mate. That was a long time ago. But David and Patrick, got some stories about them. I mean, a long time ago, Patrick, I took something off someone. They phoned Patrick up for help, and Patrick phoned me up and gave me some grief on the phone. And I said, who's that, mate? He went, about who are you? So I said, Ray Hill. He went, oh, Ray, like, I've just took something off someone. and it was all mateys, because me and Patrick got back a long way. I like Patrick Frazer, and I like David very much. The old man, I never see old Frank, Frankie Frazer's son, the other Frank. Never see him, never met him. I see a film once, a documentary, where they went to get in Patrick Frazer's house, young Patrick on about. They tried to get in his place. It took them about 5 hours to get through the front door. Everything was caged up, and all the front doors bolted up. They couldn't get in. They sort of like spun the gaff, ripped it to pieces, mate, looking for certain things, yeah. And it was in a chimney stack, and there was all bricks that come out of chimney stack, and they found it in there. Yes, so he got well grossed up, didn't he? But yeah, he had it all hid, and it took ages, 4 or 5 hours to get. I don't know if you ever see that. It was some big panorama thing, something like that, about David Frazer, the old man Frankie Frazer, his son Frank, yeah, the oldest one Frank, yeah, and. Yeah, David. I used to like him. David. I think David was around Chrissy McCormack, big time. David Frazer shot my mate in the leg in Fulham. I think David Frazer was seeing someone, and the gun went off, and they shot my mate in the leg by mistake, I believe. And there was murders about that, mate, because these people that he shot in the leg was crazy people as well. So there was a big war about it, but nothing happened in the end of the day, yeah. But David, mate, nice worker, good worker, David. I forget the other guy's name. He was knocked about with another guy called David something, Glasses. He was next door to me in Albany, a geezer, telling me about David Frazer, Chris McCormack, all that little firm, yeah. And I think they've done it Khashoggi's Rolls Royce, Frankie Clark and that little firm. They're good workers, mate. Good workers, proper workers, they've done some proper work. Anyway, I liked Sir David and I liked Patrick, and I used to make me laugh though when I used to always shout at to Bill. Peter Colson, sorry. I used to shout at Peter Colson about Lady Margaret. It was just one of the things that went on the wing, you know what I mean? Tell us about Lady Margaret and all that game. What she looked like? Tell us the body. What's the body like? And all that shouting out. Also, any really dirty photographs? Everyone's going mad. Yeah, Peter Colson, love his art. Yeah. Anyway, David used to like football. Patrick used to like football. They was always playing football. They wasn't that good at it, mind you. Anyway, with the Harris, Dennis, and Duggan. I think it was Duggan or Duke. I'm not quite sure. He mixed up with Duggan and Duke. But yeah. It was. I liked Maidstone Prison, and then met Harry Hayward. I think Harry was on Kentwing. Harry Hayward was on Kentwing. Not Harry. Bill. Sorry, Bill. Billy was on Kentwing. I like. Do you know what, Billy Hayward? I had more to do with him. I knew him from Jimmy Tibbet, you know. When I come out in 1978, 79, I went to Lewisham, and I met Bill when he was at Harper Erin, and he had the club called Cheeks, the club at Cheeks, and he wanted me to run the club. Cheeks wanted me not to run it, but to be part of the management there, you know. And yeah, I liked Harry and Billy Hayward, nice people, mate. Bill, as I say, Bill was away in Maidstone with me. He was on Kentwing, but Bill, he trained a lot. He used a bag a lot. He was always on a bag. You could see that he's done plenty of bag work. You should see he's done plenty of boxing. He was always running, always very fit. He used to knock about 3 or 4 guys in there, I forget their names, yeah. But he was always with them. He never left their side. Yeah, Bill, nice fella, Billy. I was big respect for him, and big respect for his brother Harry, yeah. But they was involved in that Smiths, wasn't he? That Smiths club, and with Jimmy Tibbet, my trainer, and after the Smith trainer and the shootings and all that, the Richardsons and all that, I believe that the Richardsons went downhill, yeah. because I think Billy Hayward and Harry Hayward took over. Yeah, they become the governors. They become the governors around that area. Yeah, because where they lived, it was a naughty place, mate. It was naughty. You didn't want to muck about with them Haywards, mate. They was bad people. They'd put you away, eyes are winking. You know, eyes are winking. I don't know what their sons are like today, but they were terrible, mate. They were terrible. But I did like Bill, and I did like Harry. You know, Jimmy Tibbet was telling me times when I was being a snooker hall and all that. The amount of people they've put over the snooker tables, the amount of people they've stabbed in the hands and stabbed in the legs, people they've really obliged. Yeah. I mean, when I come out in 1978, end of 78, 79, and I met Jimmy Tibbet, and we used to go to Harry Hayward and Billy Hayward's clubs, and we used to go to the snooker halls and all that. And Billy Hayward was an handful, mate. He was a dangerous man. He talked very low, not flash, but mate, dangerous. He didn't muck about, mate. I've seen him in a couple of snooker clubs, setting about people. You see films about the craze when they used to go into what's the name, snooker clubs, and put knives in people's faces and stab them up. I think they'll get all that from Billy and Harry Hayward's snooker clubs, because believe me, when I was there, that same sort of thing went on. You know, that same sort of thing, when people really upset them, they'd get it, mate. And I see Billy Hayward stab someone really, really bad. Stab him bad. Well, not stab him, cut him bad, yeah? And I'm on about really cut him with a Stanley knife, you know, and ripped it to pieces, mate. And the geezer was near to death. You know, there was blood everywhere, mate. He must have cut arteries all over the gaffer because he ripped him, he cut him, like shredded him up with a Stanley knife, yeah? But it was over something really bad. They tried to nick a parcel of a bill. That's what I was told. I didn't get too much involved in it. I was in Jimmy Tibbet. We was more or less talking to Harry, and Bill with a couple of guys, steamed into this fella, cut him up with a Stanley knife really, really bad. And I thought, I'm going to get out of here. Okay, I said to Jim, let's go, mate. Let's go. And anyways, all jokes aside now, I stayed there with Bill. And it sort of like, it died of deafening. The guy was just kept his mouth shut, kept quiet, and they used to have lots of fags. Billy Hayward and Harry used to have loads of cigarettes, and Jimmy Tibbet, he used to have bootloads of fags. I used to go around with him to some of the clubs, some of the spills, yeah. I mean, there must have been about 10 spills. Deptford, Catford, Woolwich, all around them areas, there was always spills. And Jimmy Tibbet, Billy Hayward, Harry Hayward, they run them really, mate. They were their bread and butter. Do you know what I mean? And they had that big George, George, with a big scar. He was one of like an enforcer sort of thing. Jimmy was a big time enforcer, but I told you, he got me involved in it and Cliff Fields. But yeah. Anyway, this is all about Billy. This is all about Harry and Billy Hayward. Going a bit out of it now, but yeah, I liked Bill. I liked Bill, and when he had a visit, he had a good visit. Bill, he had everything he wanted in Maidstone. He had just had everything. He had money used to come in left, right, and centre from people outside. He never needed for nothing. I went over to Kentwin. Just have a talk with him, and his cell was like a palace. He had everything he could possibly need in the cell. But I forget the guys used to knock about though in Kent. But Bill was okay. I like Billy Hayward, I liked Harry, but this is about Bill in Maidstone. As I say, Bill used to train a lot, run a lot. I think you see the trouble between Billy Blundell and Pat and all that little firm. I think, if I remember rightly now, because of the names have got come out, I think Peter Coulson was with Pat when that happened. I think Peter Coulson also told Billy Hayward, leave off Bill and all that sort of thing. But that wasn't really a fight as such, yeah. But it was one of the things no one likes to see. because it doesn't end there, does it? He goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? But anyway, Billy Blundell. As I say, Bill. When I met him in a Maidstone prison, I see him on a visit one day, and got talking to him when he come out. Got talking to him when he come out. I think Billy Blundell was in Medway with Ricky Curley. I'm sure he was, Bill. I'm sure he was. And Ricky Curley and Bill was very close. And so was Ricky Curley very close with Pat. With Pat Adams, very close. Ricky Curley, nice guy, bit of an air lip, but Ricky Curley, mate. Ricky Curley was a dangerous person. I know I said everybody on my list is dangerous, which they are, yeah. As me and Rick was very close in Maidstone, very close. Every day he'd come out of Medway, meet me around the yard, walk around the yard, and then we'd go in the gym. Always have a workout, and he'd always smash me to pieces. Always hit my shoulders, mate. We used to train about shoulder hitting the shoulders and the arms. A couple of times I've missed and hit him on the chin because he really hurt me. He used to really hurt me, Ricky Curley. I mean, we used to train with big gloves, 14 ounces, yeah, 14 ounces. And Christ, and when he used to hit me on the shoulders, it's all right, one or two, but after a while, you get more and more and more, it's really painful, you know. Bruise your shoulders up, and I couldn't lift my arms up. It was in a bad way. The next day I was so bruised up. He only had to give it one time, hit me once. I go, that's enough. Yeah, Ricky Curley, mate, nice guy. I believe Ricky Curley was a bit of a hitman, really, in a way. I don't know how true it was. That was only hearsay. Dangerous person. He was dangerous, and he could have a right fight. There must be a lot of people that heard of Ricky Curley. I loved him to death. He was my pal, good pal and all, mate. And he used to knock a spar around with Billy Blundell. Him and Bill used to have white rows together when they sparred in Maidstone. Bill was a good, very good fighter. But Ricky Curley was just wiry, bang, and he could bang. And he used to hit Bill. I've seen him hit Bill a few times and rock Billy Blundell, and it stopped. You know what I mean? But Ricky Curley, good mate of mine, mate. I really like Ricky Curley, and a couple of times people told me that I've seen him around Brentford, all around there. Yeah, I'd love to see Ricky. Anyway, that's about it about Maidstone Prison, yeah. But Maidstone Prison was a good nick, mate. I like Maidstone. I've got my home leave from Maidstone, and yeah. All right, mate. This is Bang Bang Mail. Please press the like button, subscribe. Bang and bye.